Hi chickies, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are going to be testing out a new eyeshadow palette that just hit the drugstore. It's from the brand Physicians Formula. This is called the Butter Eyeshadow Palette, and this specific one is called Sultry Nights. In case you guys are new here, I would greatly appreciate it if you please subscribe to my channel. I would absolutely love it if you'd be a part of the Chickie crew. Also, don't forget I upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. I stumbled upon this eyeshadow palette at my local Bed Bath & Beyond. It retailed for $13.99. It's called the Sultry Nights eyeshadow palette. It also comes with a duo-ended applicators, which I didn't use. So I'm going to read you what it says on the back of the palette. Ultra luxurious eyeshadows infused with a powerful blend. Marumaru butter, Kapuka butter, and Tsukuma butter. Incredibly soft and ultra creamy texture, can be applied wet or dry. Wanted to create a little bit more of a dramatic eye that is still a little bit soft, pair well with a bold red lip. I really love the way how this look turned out, although you can always switch up the lip. Alright chickies, for this look I'm using the Physicians Formula Sultry Nights eyeshadow palette. So the first thing I'm going to do is just prime my eyes with an eyeshadow primer. All items I'm using in today's video will be listed and linked in the description box down below. So I'm first using the matte cream color shadow from the palette to lay down on top of the eyeshadow primer so that we have a nice smooth base. Next I'm going in with this matte light brown shadow, which will be used as the transition color. This will help gradiate our shadows for a nice smooth transition. Is this real? Next, dipping into a medium dark brown. It's not exactly dark brown, but it's a medium shade. It's also a matte shadow, and I'm just going to swirl this right onto the outer third of my eye. I really want to darken up this area since we are going for a more dramatic look. Next, picking up this shimmery, beautiful olive green, and I'm going to just pat this on top of that shadow that we just laid down, but we still want to leave a bit of space, a little bit of that corner area where we still see the brown. We just want to gradiate these two shadows together. You can also spray your brush and use this eyeshadow wet for a more intensified look, but I actually like the way how it turned out. For the empty space on the lid, I'm going to use my ring finger and tap into this beautiful golden shimmer shadow. This is one of my favorite shadows from this palette. I was really impressed with how pigmented it is just by using my ring finger and tapping it onto the lid. I can just imagine how much more intensified it will be if I spritz my brush with a mixing medium, tap it onto the lid. So now I'm basically just going back into that olive green and fading that color right into the gold. We really want the shadows to gradiate well. And I'm also taking a clean blending brush and just blending right into that socket area so that the shadows have a nice smooth transition. I wanted this look to be a bit more dramatic, so I went back into that medium dark brown eyeshadow and ever so gently blended it right into that crease area, but I didn't want to move any of the shimmer that was on the lid, so I just made sure to use a light hand. Another thing to note about this palette is that the shimmers have a ton of fallout. Highly recommend you guys apply the eyeshadows first if you're using this eyeshadow palette, and then your face makeup. So I'm just using a makeup wipe just to remove any of the excess fallout. To brighten up the eyes, I decided to go with this beautiful champagne iridescent duochrome shadow. It's absolutely beautiful in the pan. However, this is the shadow that gave me the most trouble. I'm going to explain a little bit later on in the video why it did. But for now, I'm just going to leave you guys with the rest of the makeup tutorial and vibe with the music.
I try, but I can't obey. These rules are made for myself to keep me from getting hurt. These rules are made for myself. Just make it work. Just make it work. Just make it work. It work.
enjoyed the tutorial. Just a little forewarning about the eyeshadow palette. At least I noticed with me that I had a ton of fallout with these shimmer shadows, especially this green one had just a ton of fallout. You could completely see it on my face, kind of golden shadow. I love the way how this applied on the lid. So creamy, so buttery smooth. I love the formula of these, especially these shadows right here. Wow, they're so buttery smooth and does have that buttery smell just like the other butter products from Physicians Formula. We touched a little bit on this really beautiful, it's almost like a silver shadow, which doesn't swatch the greatest, but if you look at it on my finger, it picked up so much product. But this was the one shadow that gave me the most trouble from this whole palette. I've used this specific shadow dry, also I've used it wet, and both times I had the same exact outcome. It was just very difficult to work with, very patchy. I've played around with this whole palette for the past week and a half, and this was the only dud in the palette. Other than that, I love the rest of the shadows. These shimmer shadows, I think the best way to really apply it is with your finger, so you get more color payoff. If you use a brush, it's just not really gonna pick up the shadow. This green one applied beautifully, blended beautifully, no patchiness. I really like how they also included these matte eyeshadows. You have great transitions. You can also deepen up the look using these shadows, and they're really creamy, really pigmented. They blend out beautifully, no patchiness, just like butter. For me, I felt like this was a great palette from Physicians Formula. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and found it helpful. If you guys did, please make sure you smash that like button, as well as don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell notification, turn on those post notifications to be notified of new videos. If you chickies enjoyed this video, make sure you guys check out the videos right over here. You might enjoy those as well. Thank you chickies so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Mwah.